Why is it that beautiful ladies are crazy? People have been asking this question for a long time, going back to Plato, when he once said, "It's from my own experience and the experience of other people that women are just as hot physically as they are crazy mentally." But why? Why is this happening? Not from an anecdotal viewpoint, but from a psychological viewpoint. And trust me, I have that information. There's a lot of research out there that supports this is a real phenomenon, what exactly causes it. And it turns out it's quite intriguing from my perspective. At the end of this, I have a piece of advice that I believe is extremely valuable. You know, attractive people, particularly ladies, are treated extremely differently from those who are around them. Now, it's strange, since when this topic gets brought up, particularly with an attractive individual, they will often deny it because they will think, no, not every single man, not every one of my friends wants to have sex with me or be in a close relationship with me, so it's not true. But the issue is that it doesn't simply extend to romantic relationships, but to so many different realms. For example, some research shows that those who are less attractive encounter higher rejection in not only romantic relationships, but also friendly relationships and employment relations, and are considered less competent. People often want to be acquaintances with more attractive individuals, and from my own experience, whenever I see someone who just looks attractive all around, even when I have no intention of having a relationship with them, or if I don't have any intention of ever meeting them again, if I'm going to interact with that individual, I always treat them more nicely, and I'm ready to do things for them. What's also intriguing that plays into the entire insane factor, I believe this is important, is their capacity to get away with norm violations. For instance, if you do anything that is not as socially acceptable but you're attractive, it will be understood and regarded in an entirely different way. It will be perceived more positively and less maliciously. Research has proved this to be a reality, and more beautiful people are even penalized less harshly by judges because, again, the judicial system is governed by humans, and judges are humans. They perceive people who are more beautiful as less ill-gotten, as less wicked, and they perceive individuals who are less attractive when they do normal violations of the law or commit an act that's not acceptable in society. The purpose behind it is frequently considered more malicious, as more of a personality flaw. There's something amiss with that individual, even though they just made a mistake. I remember talking with a certain lady. She was truly gorgeous, and she began to talk about how no, people do not treat me nicer because I'm naturally beautiful. She denied it, but immediately thereafter, she was talking about how she would use her attractiveness to get out of traffic offenses so that she wouldn't get a ticket from the officers. She would also use it to obtain discounts from individuals who worked at stores. Those who are more attractive are always treated nicer everywhere they go. They're also considered intelligent. It's commonly referred to as the halo effect. We attach positive attributes to more attractive individuals, not on the basis that they actually are that way, but rather because we feel that way about them. They have greater character traits and they are considered intelligent. These things help you tremendously. Additionally, it's not just, hey, I'm beautiful and people wish to be in more intimate relationships with me. That's only one realm beauty impacts. And here's an important point. If people regard you in a more favorable light and they are not ready to correct your actions if you do something wrong, let's assume you behave insanely or make some loud noise. I used to be that way, but it was trained out of me. It's a little of the same concept with attractive women, but it's not trained out of them as much. People do not criticize it as much. People tolerate it a lot more. And when those who are around you don't condemn your negative behavior harshly, which is what takes place all the time, it nurtures and develops an understanding of that insane, crazy behavior that just gets worse as time goes on in life. It's like if you're a child who never got punished, of course, you're going to be insane later in life. To wrap this up, attractive ladies are more inclined to become insane because others tolerate their behavior and truly don't consider it as necessarily that bad or damaging since they're beautiful people. A great deal of our behavior can be considered good or bad, depending on whether someone is attracted to us or considers us as beautiful. This occurs even in intimate relationships. If you're in a relationship with someone, you could interpret anything that they do. Perhaps they have a certain laugh, perhaps they have a funny laugh. If you're drawn to that individual and you love them, You're going to love their laugh, which is going to be perceived in a special light. But if you're no longer attached to them and you detest them, that laugh will constantly drive you crazy, since the behavior itself cannot be considered positive or negative on its advantage, but whether we feel attracted to them. And there's something you can use with this. Take care of your looks. Appearances are truly essential. People will treat you and regard you favorably if you take care of your appearance. It suggests that even though you are not that attractive, perhaps you're normal or less attractive, there are a lot of things you can do, particularly as a man. Take good care of your clothes, buy clothes that fit you properly, and take care of your beard. Either get it completely shaved or trimmed quite nicely. Don't just develop hair on your face. The hair on your face simply is not an appealing look. It has to be maintained. Take care of the hair on your head, master a decent hairstyle, and try out something new. People will treat you better if you dress a bit differently, if you look differently. As long as you're not unattractive, the most essential things are in your power. I say this as a man who's ordinary looking, but I take good care of my looks. I put a lot of effort into it, and a basic principle that I've discovered is to try to stand out and be different and wear clothes that make you appear more attractive. Uniqueness helps you attract attention, and wearing clothing that helps you appear attractive attracts more people to you. It's really significant. So logically speaking, when others treat you more kindly and regard you better based on your attractiveness, whether it's genuine or not doesn't matter, people treat you well for it. Therefore, it is to your best advantage to foster it so that people regard you and treat you well. Furthermore, you cannot modify the game. You cannot modify how people are. People will continue to be like this, so use it to your benefit.